Welcome to Running for Real, a global community with a shared love and curiosity for running. Together we reconnect with the reasons why we love to run and discover ways it helps us become better people. Whether it's the quiet moments of a morning run while the rest of the world still sleeps, or befriending the strangers next to you at the start line of a race. We are here to connect with others who see running as the common thread that weaves our lives together. Come join me, Tina Muir, as I talk with people from all walks of life, united by a love of running. Hello, my friends. Welcome to episode 281 of the Running for Real podcast. And I love the fact that today is the final day of 2021 and we have an episode for you. That feels like good closure for 2021 going into 2022. And I feel like we have the perfect episode, the perfect way to round this off. As we are thinking forward into 2022 here at Running for Real, I want you to more get to know the people working with me within our Running for Real team. Now, don't worry, that does not mean I'm not going to be around. Our survey made it clear that you appreciate the things that I do, and I'm not going to, take that away or disregard what you said. So I will still be here, but I do want you to get to know the team members because we have such a wonderful group of people, and we really are working together to raise one another up. There is just a lot of good stuff going back here. And that said, with the recap episode, I didn't want to just make it about my favorites or the episodes that spoke to me the most. I wanted to, as we continue to work with you within the community, I wanted to ask some other people who are listening from a more of the outsider's perspective in terms of it not being me and how things changed me. So I wanted to ask the Running for Real team. So today I've asked our team to come up with an episode that impacted them and also to give the part of that episode that spoke to them the most. So you are going to get to know each of our team members or most of our team members today and get to hear a little bit about who they are and then their favorite episode. So this is our Running for Real favorites of the year recap episode. I am really excited for you to get to know these people, and you will continue to as the year goes on. So without any further ado, we are going to take a moment to thank our sponsor, and then we'll be right to Sally to kick us off. Our next partner has a product I use literally every single day. I started taking Athletic Greens because I heard that there were 75 whole food source ingredients, the antioxidant equivalent of 12 servings of fruits and vegetables, and it just sounded like the ideal thing I needed to fit in the nutritional gaps. You know, I didn't have the time, and I was at a place where, as much as I wanted to look after my health, I felt like I wasn't doing a great job. I wanted something that actually tasted good. I hated taking pills and vitamins and all kinds of other things, and I wanted to see what the hype was about. So what is this stuff, if you are asking? With one delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, as I said, you are absorbing that 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, adaptogens. It's going to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, energy, recovery, focus, aging, all the things. I take it every morning, the first thing I do when I wake up. AG1 helps me to have energy. I love that it is the way that I can get my day started. It gets my digestive system going, and it is something that I send to my family and friends, the people I care about the most in this world, as a gift because I just want to take care of them and I believe in everything that they are doing. Now, I love Athletic Greens for the ingredients they have, but I also think it is the one thing that has all the best things. They use the best of the best products based on the latest science with constant product iterations, and they also have third-party testing, which I think is great, and not everyone does that. It supports better sleep quality and recovery, something really important to us as runners, and it costs you less than $3 a day. If you're investing in your health, it's cheaper than that coffee habit that we tend to get ourselves hooked on. Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews, by the way. It's not just me saying this. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially as we head into cold and flu season. Just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. Just that. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a 1-year free supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Tina. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Tina to take ownership of your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance, and you can get that special offer in Canada, the US, and Europe. Hello, my friends. Welcome to episode 281, the final episode of the year, on the final day of the year. How perfect. I love when things wrap up like this and we can just get them to align up nicely. And it just feels like we can start a new day tomorrow, even though it's technically only Saturday. That said, I am very excited that we are able to wrap this up with an episode not just from me today. I'm excited to be featuring some feedback from our team here at Running for Real, rather than me saying how much I loved each of the episodes, as it can be really hard to pick because a lot of the people that we feature become friends. A lot of people that I end up having these conversations with are people who have impacted my life in ways beyond the podcast episodes when I have got to know them outside of the episode. And so it comes a bit of a blurry line as to what the impact was from that specific episode. That said, I wanted to do something that was a wrap up on the year of some of our favorite episodes within the Running for Real team. And I also just wanted to check in. Earlier on, I did a little 8-minute talk before the end of the. It was right when I still had COVID. I wanted to speak to you, the community, and so I just recorded a quick little thing, and people really appreciated that. And today, again, I have no notes. I just have the notes from the team as to what their favorite episodes are. I have no notes about anything else, but I just wanted to talk for just a few minutes. Firstly, to say thank you for being loyal, for your support, for your kindness, for the love, for the energy, and just for being you. So many of you reach out to me on a regular basis, and that makes me so filled up with love, feel so appreciated. When you tag me and things on social media, it makes me just feel seen. And so thank you for that. And for sticking with me this year. I know that directionally we've changed a little bit and not everyone has come to join us, but I feel strongly about those of us who are left, those of us who are in this group, in this tribe. I don't really like the word tribe. Those of us who are in this community, that we are stronger together, that we have come a long way together. And I feel excited going into 2022. There's some big things coming and I can't wait to share them with you. Some of them I will be sharing in the next few days, big things. Some of the most exciting things that have happened. But also I can't wait to grow with you. If you are committed to this podcast, to Running for Real, and to me, you are committed to growth. And that means a lot because not everyone is. There's a lot of people who, at this point in their lives, they're just not able to do it, and that's okay. But I truly love and appreciate you for doing so. What else do I want to say? I want to remind you, as it is the end of the year, as we go into the first month of the year, into January, that no matter what choices you made over the last month, if you went into some old habits or behaviors that you had tried so hard to stay away from, which I have too, I've done a lot of therapy over the last few years trying to stay away from some of my behaviors and patterns that I've been doing for many years. And I feel like so far I'm recording this a little bit ahead of time, but so far I haven't been triggered or set off by them as much as I normally am, but I'm still there. And I still find myself feeling frustrated with some of the choices I make. When it comes to talking to others and just the way I react. But I'm improving. maybe very slowly, but still. So I want to remind you that if you feel like you've eaten too much, if you feel like you've drank too much, if you feel like you've made some bad choices, that doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you any less of a person. It doesn't make me love or like you any less. I just want to remind you of that, even if there are people in your life who make you feel less than, or you feel that you don't matter, or you feel that you don't belong. You always belong in Running for Real, and I'll always be a friend to you. So just keep that in mind as we go into these next few weeks. You don't have to lose weight. You don't have to change who you are. You're not perfect. Neither am I. Neither is anyone. Neither are our guests. Even the ones who have large egos, as some of our guests this year did. But we don't have to change. I have been doing a lot of thinking, being back here in my hometown, about moments in my life where I felt I couldn't be myself. And those are the moments I felt a lot of anxiety and stress, because I felt I couldn't be who I was. And when I feel most at peace, like right now, it's when I'm being who I am and I'm talking to what feels right for me. So just keep that in mind. And if you need someone to help pep you up and make you be brave and continue to be who you are, I'm here. And so's the Running for Real team. Send us a message on social media. Send me an email. Might take me a few days, but even if it does, know that I'm holding your hand. Know that I'm here for you, always. Even if I can't physically be there, even if it takes me a few days to get back to your email, I'm still there, I promise you. Okay, it's enough soppy stuff for one go. You ready to... Let's take a moment to thank one of our sponsors, and then we'll get right to the Running for Real team podcast episode picks of the year. And there is one episode that has two of our team selected it. Can you guess which one that was? I'm going to leave you to think about that for a moment. Let's take a minute to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Zencastr for sponsoring this episode of the Running for Real podcast and for keeping us afloat in every way in terms of our podcasting needs. I can't imagine my life without Zencastr now. We use it for Running Realized. We use it for Running for Real. And podcasting remotely can be a real challenge, but it doesn't have to be. And that's where Zencastr comes in and really shines. It's this all-in-one web-based solution that makes the process quick and painless the way it probably should be. Now, if you know me, you know that I like to keep things real. And I love that Zencastr is able to give me that quality I can rely on without also me having to make things be perfect or make things be, feeling inauthentic to me. They have this high quality that provides crystal clear sound and this gorgeous HD video that allows me to communicate and connect with my guests to take the podcast to the next level. And I want to mention, it is so easy to use, even for my guests that aren't tech savvy. There is nothing to download. They just click on the link and we start recording. Zencastr is all about making your podcasting easy, and with everything from local recording to automatic post-productions in the tool, you don't have to leave your browser to get the episode done. If you want to have the same easy experience as I do for all my podcasting and content needs, you can go to zencastr.com/pricing and enter code RUNNING4REAL. That's the word for running for real. And you will get 30% off your first 3 months. That's zencastr.com/pricing. And you can use code RUNNING4REAL to get 30% off your first 3 months. It's time for you to share your story. All right, friends, you ready to break this down? As I said, I didn't want to give an episode myself. I feel like I could easily love so many of the episodes and offend people. And a lot of the episodes were hard hitting. We went in a lot of different directions. We launched Running Realized. Actually, let's start with that. Let's start with a little recap of the year. I'm actually doing this from memory, so who knows how much I'm going to remember. Some favorite moments from the year from me were, I think the highlight of my year was interviewing Malcolm Gladwell and going for a run with him. I was very unsure of what I would think about him. I'd met one of my idols in the past, and it really wasn't great. And so I was excited, but I didn't want to let my heart get into it. But he exceeded my expectations in every way. He's a kind, gentle, sweet human being. And I think that was my highlight, knocking on the door of his little studio and him answering the door, not wearing any shoes, just standing there in like tracksmith clothes and being like, hi. And I was like, do I give him a hug? Do I not? Knox was encouraging me to give him a hug, but I didn't. And then we went upstairs and recorded, and he was just such a great guy. I really enjoyed that and appreciated it. And then we went for a run afterwards, myself, him and Knox, and that was really special, the run, even though I got stung by a bee. And then afterwards, Knox, Maria and myself hung out afterwards, and I had that whole week with Maria, and it was really special. I loved getting to know her, someone from our team, Maria Vargas. Many of you will know her from Maria's Corner on our newsletter. That was a really special week and just probably my highlight of the year. Also launched Running Realised. John Phillips is our producer, myself and Knox Robinson. We were really proud of what we created with that. Really, really proud of our podcast, what we made there. And if you haven't checked out Running Realised, I would definitely recommend it. You can find it on the Running for Real website, or you can just search Running Realised in your favorite podcast player. We are currently working on season 2, so you will be able to hear that very soon. And a third highlight would be that I got to work with the UN on a campaign. That was a huge opportunity and honor to work alongside the United Nations. And so that, I think, those are the 3 things that stick out to me the most in my mind. There are a lot more moments, a lot more community moments, a lot more moments within our Running for Real team where I really got to think, wow, we are doing the right thing. This is a sign. And just feeling that feel-good factor from our team and what they're doing. So look for big things coming next year. Okay, friends, let's get on to some of the episode picks. So I'm just going to read through the words that each of the team members said. You may have seen my post on Instagram a few weeks ago about me sharing how I initially threw this on them to record it themselves, but that was a bad choice on my part, and I felt, well, I didn't feel it at the time, but Jeremy, our podcast editor, reminded me that it maybe wasn't the best choice, and it wasn't something that we should have been doing to our team. And so I'm really thankful to him for being honest with me. So I'm going to read to you what they said. Okay, Kat. Kat is our community manager, and Kat's favorite episode was the special edition Together Run in New York City. So Kat said 2021 was the year that Together Runs, initially called Guided Runs, started being produced. So I think we would be remiss not to mention them. This particular Together Run was incredibly special after hearing many months of races being cancelled, postponed, or held virtually. Being able to vividly feel the buzz of an eager running crowd and listen to the stories of runners from so many different places was really something else. This will be an episode I'll come back to again and again during the long winter months when it's difficult to remember why in the world I signed up for another marathon. I actually didn't know Kat had done that, which is that was a surprise when I read through these to see that she had. So I'm excited to support Kat, and I hope you will also support her along the way. Kat also had a second episode as she wasn't sure if Together Run could be the answer, and she said John Green. Kat's word are, to be completely transparent, I'm a huge fan of Molly Seidel, not just for her impressive running career, but also her incredible bravery and strength while overcoming disordered eating and injuries that could have prevented her from ever racing again. So needless to say, I was really excited to listen to this episode with Molly's coach, who's also the head coach of Atalanta. He did not disappoint. One thing I really appreciated about John was how he constantly sought out mentorship, and advice from other running coaches throughout Molly's training. I think this demonstrates how important it is to be bravely vulnerable about what you don't know yet and to stand on the shoulders of giants, so to speak. I also love how he created a safe space within these plans for Molly to have some days off. It really shows it's possible to work with a world-class athlete without needing to treat them like a machine. It is, in fact, possible to enjoy the process, play with it, and see results far beyond what you could have ever imagined. That's beautifully said, Kat. And I agree. I mean, John is pretty special. I actually had the chance to meet him a few times in New York, and it was really nice to get to know him a little bit more. And we're going to see some big things from him, even bigger than what we have. I mean, he's had an incredible year for his first year of coaching. Thank you to Kat for your honesty with that episode there. All right, next we are going to hear from Maria. Now, Maria she helps us with philosophy, with business strategy, and just direction of where we're going as a company. And so I really enjoy getting to hear Maria's feedback on a variety of things. But let's go ahead and hear from her about what she thought was her favorite episode. So Maria's favorite was the Running Realized episode 3, in particular, the part from Shaun Martin. So episode 3 was called The Inner Disconnect. That's actually the episode I always recommend people start with when they are listening to their first Running Realized episode. And so Maria picked a good one there. She said there was never any debate as to what I wanted to feel when I ran my first marathon. I wanted to feel what Shaun Martin feels when he runs. What he said about how the Navajo people feel when they run. Running, as he describes it, is like a bridge between nature and humans, between Mother Earth and me, between Father Sky and me, while running and human become one. In his poetic narrative of the 3rd episode of Running Realized, Shaun describes how running feels, and what it means to the Navajo people, how it's woven into their everyday life, how we can actually harness our human powers to connect our breath and feel our feet in the earth and feel its energy. How the air we breathe meets our core. How the energy from the earth is picked up by our feet and also meets our core. To me, that's simplified running. It's air and energy, human and nature, our lungs pumping and air and feet carrying our bodies in a rhythm. When I was planning my first marathon, New York City, I was thinking about the feelings I wanted to feel. I didn't want to feel nervous, anxious, or even excited. I wanted to feel present and balanced and in rhythm with my body and the earth. I realized what a better way to feel that than to start off my race with Shaun Martin's episodes in my earbuds. So I got my hands on the raw version of his podcast episode, took out the intro and ads. She said, "Sorry, Tina." I didn't know she did this, by the way, and saved it as a song on my phone so I could listen to it offline. Shaun's words carried me through the first mile of the marathon, carried me over the Verrazano Bridge. That bridge is silent as there are no crowds, only you and the sound of other runners' feet and the sights of Manhattan looking innocent in the distance. That podcast set my tone for that long race, connected me with the core reasons I run, reminded me that running isn't all about the race, it's about the connection between myself, my body, and the earth. That even through the hardest moments, my breath and feet will carry me. It made me smile. Now, if you enjoyed that, I want to say first, I am going to put all of these in the show notes so you can read them. I should say Sally is going to put these in the show notes. So you can go read them because I'm obviously reading them here, but then you may want to go back or you may want to share it with someone who isn't yet a podcast listener. I mean, Maria has a way with words. So if you already subscribe to our newsletter, you will really, really enjoy her challenge every week and her Maria's 3-2-1 corner. So go sign up at runningforreal.com if you haven't already. She also has her own Prickly Pear newsletter that she sends out, and she also writes a lot on a blog. So be sure to go follow Maria. I will put links in the show notes to the social media of all of our team if they are comfortable with it. And so go follow Maria because she has amazing words. She did her first marathon and I was really proud of her. She really committed, did everything she needed to do. And it was a pretty special day for both of us. So yeah, well done to her. Next up, we are going to hear from Kelsey, who is our designer. She is someone she's the head of design, I suppose. And she's someone, all the graphics, everything that aligns, all the beautiful typography and images you see are from Kelsey. She does fantastic work. She is the first person, here we go, drum roll, Did you guess who the double episode, which two people picked the same episode? Oh, sorry, I should say which episode two people picked. It was Mishka Shubali. Not surprising at all. And I texted Mishka after I read this, and he was really excited and honored that this was people's one of their favorite episodes. What are you training for? The muscle I'm trying to keep in shape by running is the muscle between my ears. That's a quote from Mishka. And Kelsey said, this episode impacted me because it's exactly where I am in my running journey right now. And I know for a fact many people are in the same situation. Running has consumed our lives because it's trying to cover up or fix something. Or maybe we hold on to running because it can take us away from our problems. What I like about Mishka's honesty in the episode and how he knows he's not in a place with running that lets him say, I get to run today. Many of us struggle with what to do with ourselves after we're done training for a goal. I appreciate his attitude for keeping life real as it is. He doesn't sugarcoat the fact that we're all a little crazy. It's true. But I absolutely love the way he describes being okay with a pause in your running journey. Knowing that running is always there, existing, even if we're not doing it, so we can come back when we're mentally able. I hope everyone struggling with their mental running journey takes a little humor from Mishka's lively talk. I love that, Kelsey, and so true. Just want to give a second shout out to Kelsey for all the work she does and the attention to detail and the thoughtfulness she puts into what she does. Okay, before we get on to any more episodes, we are going to just take a quick moment to thank one more of our sponsors. Again, these sponsors allow Running for Real to continue, allow these episodes and the Together Run. And these people you are hearing from right now are here because of sponsors allowing us to do that. So listen to them, trust them. I am very picky about who we work with, as is the team. We work together now in talking through what we want to be working with the team. And so let's hear a quick word from one of them, and we'll be right back to hearing from the rest of the team. Thank you to Gooder for sponsoring this episode of the Running for Real podcast. Now, I've mentioned before, you will struggle to find a day where I'm not wearing a pair of Gooder. I love them. They are fun, fashionable, affordable, and they are just great to have around. I have pairs everywhere. They last a long time. My kids love putting them on their face. They're functional, and they are only $25 and $35 for the two different styles. Now, every purchase of Gooder sunglasses is backed by a 1-year warranty. They have 30-day free returns, so you can send those back if you are not liking the style, which, by the way, they have styles to match every personality. If you want the regular black frames, black lenses, go for that. But they also have really fun ones to match your personality. And Gooder is a 100% carbon neutral company. I love that they took this pledge many years ago. They also became proud members of 1% for the planet since 2018. They very much align with Running for Real and what they are doing environmentally, which means, by the way, 1% for the planet means 1% of their annual gross sales go directly to environmental nonprofits working towards making our world a better place. So some of my favorites, I did mention the Black with Black. That's a ginger soul. I also love Gardening with a Kraken. The names, by the way, amazing. Just so fun. And there's also some aviator style ones, which I love as well. So you can go to goodr.com/Tina. That's gooder.com/Tina to get yourself 15% off your order. They also have some blue blockers there if you want to go check those out. So go to gooder.com/Tina to go get yourself 15% off. Okay, next up we have Stacey, who is our events manager. Stacey said, how do I pick just one? It was a challenge, but I think I have to go with episode 270 featuring Kaylee Williamson. I really enjoyed hearing Kaylee's story about how running has become such an important part of her life. Her drive to reach her goals is incredible. The acceptance from the running community reminded me how great the community can be for all levels of runners. It was also a good reminder to take life at your own pace and not to be too influenced by others' opinions of you. Also, I cannot wait to check out Kaylee's book. She's such an impressive young woman who can't be stopped when she sets a goal for herself. Lovely, and I agree. If you didn't listen to Kaylee's episode, That's a real feel-good one. That was her and her mum, Sandy. So we really applaud them and can't wait to see what they're doing in the future. And thank you to Stacey for all of her hard work, putting in lots of time to help get us to where events next year can be something very special. Okay, and next we have our second episode about Mishka. So I want to thank Sandy for also recommending this one. She said there are so many great episodes to choose from, but the one that sticks out to me is episode 267 with Mishka Shubali. I've been the underdog my entire life, and I've lived the rock and roll lifestyle previously. I can totally relate to Mishka on hitting rock bottom, and life takes a turn, and finding the love and passion with running and fitness to be able to bring myself out of darkness. It was inspiring and insightful to hear about his recovery and opportunities to influence an entire generation. So agree. And we are so lucky to have Sandy. I am very fortunate that Sandy lives in St. Louis, so I get to see her. She takes all the pictures of me that you see, the professional ones. Those are from Sandy. And we have some exciting stuff coming up. So I'm looking forward to many more hours with her, and you'll get to see the rewards of that. Okay, friends, should we go on to the next one? We got a few more episodes here to go through. I want to thank the next person I'm sharing their episode is the person who makes this possible. Jeremy is our podcast editor, audio consultant. He also is a consultant to the brand in terms of giving feedback with strategy, and he is part of our strategy committee to decide where we're going and what we're focusing on. Jeremy said his favorite episode was the Malcolm Gladwell episodes, which he said stood out for a couple of reasons. About 39 minutes in, Tina asked him a bold question, challenging him on some remarks he made regarding Alberto Salazar and Mary Cain. When you hear her begin to set up the question, he seems to dig into his original stance. But when she frames her entire question, I can hear him pause, like he's realizing more about the situation, and even says that he thinks Tina is probably right. To some, it may seem like he's backpedaling, but I prefer to think that he started to think about the issue differently, and he admitted what he meant was not well articulated. Another great thing about this episode was that it sparked a healthy discussion on the Superstars page regarding his comments earlier in the episode of mediocrity versus being bad at something. Different people took it different ways. Some felt it was very judgmental against slow runners. After listening to it a couple times, I still don't take it that way, but I can see how others might. For these reasons, I think a follow-up interview would be great to delve deeper into his thoughts on these comments and reactions. He said he loves being wrong. I love that, and well, I'd be all for that. I have actually stayed in touch with Malcolm, emailing back and forth probably once a month, and yeah, he's a special guy. I hope we get that done, and I'm sure we will get a run together, so maybe I can do it as a together run at some point in the future. I want to just take a moment to thank Jeremy once again for the work that he does here. He has been he's been with me since the start, so he knows the brand better than anyone else, and it's just been such a gift to get to know him. Also, I want to just, as I'm worrying for the sake of, I know there's no need to, but I also want to just take a moment. I didn't say anything about Kat. Kat has so much initiative. She is so thoughtful, so inclusive in every way of our team, and there's a lot of special stuff going down that she is behind. So stay tuned there. All right, next, I want to share something from Erica. Erica is in charge of inclusion for us. She's our inclusion manager, and she is just such a kind, loving, thoughtful human who you will be getting to see more and more from coming in 2022, and I can't wait to share that. So Erica said her favorite episode was Jordan Murray Brings 3 White Horses Daniel, which was episode 225. And she said, an episode that has impacted me is episode 225 with Jordan Murray Brings 3 White Horses Daniel. It was powerful to hear her speak on the injustices and suffering of Indigenous communities. There was so much I didn't know after that episode. I made a commitment to raise my own awareness of Indigenous rights. It is a brave woman like Jordan that keep the voices of Indigenous folks from being stifled. She's a force to be reckoned with, and I'm grateful for the movement she spearheaded. I will continue my own learning and consider how I can shift that learning into action. So well said. And I felt very much the same with Jordan. She's a special woman. And we are really fortunate to have had her on. I'm really proud to call her a friend and can't wait to see where her awareness and that action she's taking is leading for people in the future. She's a change maker. And our final episode today that we are going to be featuring is from Sally, who is our content and operations manager. She does so much behind the scenes to help me be ready. I would be running around with just totally out of it if I didn't have Sally around organizing me from behind the scenes. She is just the best. So thank you to Sally for all the work that you do. Sally said her favorite episode of the year was Tommy Runs, aka Tommy Bailey. Sally said, I've been a runner for years, but for the longest time, I really didn't know much about the sport. When I started running in races, I wanted to learn more and discovered Tina's blog and the podcast she hosted at the time. That led to my joining Running for Real Superstars. I've never been part of a running community before, and I was nervous about participating at first, but I quickly felt comfortable and I've formed friendships through that go beyond running. The episode that I chose is episode number 262, Tommy Runs. Things that he said about belonging really struck a chord because I know how much being part of a running community means to me. At one point, he talked about being a race expo. When he looked around, he realized how few people there were who looked like him. And he thought he would love for a person of color to be able to go to a race and feel like this is where we all belong. He was speaking from the perspective of a black man, but there are so many people who don't participate in races or join a running group or even take up running because for whatever reason they feel like they don't belong. He made me aware of how many people don't have a running community available to them or don't believe that they would fit in and think about what can be done to change that. That is so true. And Tommy really spoke through to a lot of people through the way that he was able to frame things. And just make us care about him really quickly. He was great at reeling us in. I mean, him and I started with a silly start to the episode of us laughing, but he was a fantastic ambassador for the sport in so many ways, and he's going places. So stay tuned with that guy because I can't wait to see what the future holds for him. Okay, my friends, I have gone through the favorite episodes of the Running for Real team. So fortunate to have them all a part of our community and just helping me to really turn Running for Real into what we believe it can be. I am proud of the team we've created here. I'm excited for the future of what this means for Running for Real. We have some new sponsors going into 2022 that are big ones that I'm very excited about. So I will be revealing some of that to you in the next few days. So if you follow social media, go follow there. But the main way you will hear it is through the newsletter. So if you haven't signed up at runningforreal.com, that is the best thing you can do. You can also check out the show notes today to go see those favorite episodes. But at runningforreal.com, you will find those show notes and you will be able to sign up for the newsletter where I will be announcing some of those big announcements about some things we have going forward. We are planning on doing some events. One of the things we're really focusing on, at least in the first half of the year, is events, and not in terms of go to the Boston Marathon because that's what everyone should do, but how can we make those who are not at the Boston Marathon or whatever other big races there are, how can we make everyone else feel included? Because quite often when we have those events, if you're there, that's amazing and you enjoy it. But if you're not there, you feel like Sally was just talking about belonging. You feel totally left out. You feel like you don't belong. You feel like everyone's at the cool party and you're not invited. So we are working really hard on finding ways that we can make people feel included and welcome and a part of something and have conversations, even if they can't be there. So stay tuned. Our real focus for 2022 from all of us at Running for Real is bringing people in, rather than so much of the running world is about being left out or is about not being at races where everyone else is, or not running as fast as everyone else. We are really focused on what can we do to bring people in, to make us more of a community, to make us feel welcome, belonged, in love, and just appreciate the sport in a whole different way. So we are excited for what the future holds. We are working very hard. Actually, I haven't been working very hard over these few weeks, but I decided to take some time down while I was with my family for the first time in over 2 years. And yeah, it's going to be a fun year. I think 2022 is going to bring some exciting stuff. So once again, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for trusting in me. Thank you for your support of our sponsors and all the social media shares, everything that you do. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are you. I think that's all I have to say, my friends. Have a wonderful New Year's Eve, and I'll see you in 2022. I really loved hearing the feedback from our team members. I actually didn't know which episode any of them were going to pick. So it was fascinating for me to hear some of the favorites. And I'd be curious from you, were any of the ones that our team member picked the ones that were your favorite? I would love to know your thoughts there. What was your favorite episode of the year? If you want to share that on social media, I would love to know. If you want to share about it when you post your next Together Run, that would be great too. And yeah, be sure to continue joining us on these Together Runs, because I've had some really special ones for you over the last few weeks. So as I've been traveling around, you've got to explore some new places with me and some well-known places with me. So you can go find those on the Running for Real website, or there will be links in the show notes for that. Thank you so much for your loyalty, for your support, for your care, your encouragement, for just being good friends. To myself and our team here at Running for Real, we are doing some big stuff for 2022. We are very excited. We have some big announcements coming, so stay tuned. I would suggest, if you aren't already signed up, to go to runningforreal.com and sign up for the newsletter. That is the first place you're going to be able to hear things. The podcast, as we record a few weeks ahead of time, you may be a few weeks behind hearing things. So runningforreal.com, sign up for the once a week newsletter would be my recommendation. But most of all, my friends, I appreciate you, each and every one of you, so much. Thank you, and Happy New Year.